Mackenzie, welcome back. Obviously, quite the year for you last year. 3-0, a couple of finishes, great fights. I mean, does it feel like just kind of everything's clicking for you right now?
Yeah, I definitely think I am at the right structure in my life. I have the right support that I need. Since my pregnancy, I think a big thing I was saying was that I kind of lost a lot of muscle and that I wanted to eventually gain that muscle. So this was the first camp that I felt like, okay, my boxing, my striking, I'm getting to a good level, my grappling staying sharp. Now I'm ready to add one more responsibility to my camp. And this camp, I brought in my coach from Brazil, Rogério Camus, to do my strength training. So it's good to see that as the fights, you're going up the ranks, you're getting more fights, you're able to bring in more responsibilities, and you're just feeling good, like in your camp and everything, to be able to add more things, So I'm really starting to be, I think, champ material.
Nice. Let's say, because it felt like for a while you're kind of figuring out which camp made sense and where you fit in. So now does it feel like the structure is set and you're kind of where you're going to be?
Yeah, for sure. Ruka is like with Coach Perillo. Will be almost a year, I think, in September, So kind of almost 1 year that I'm officially with him. It's like a private gym, So I think I'm a fighter that kind of does good at private gym, And yeah, it's like kind of he's been through all these champions, and it's cool when you have like my strength coach, my boxing coach, they have like this artwork that they want to do. I'm the artwork, and and I kind of just trust their process and let them do what they want with me, and kind of, I know that in the end they have the finished product that they want, and they're gonna do a masterpiece.
So it's interesting for you to say, like, I feel like I'm championship material now. I mean, you always had such high expectations, right? People around you were saying, hey, she had it. Did you maybe not necessarily believe it in the beginning?
I believed it, but it wasn't like a focus for me, Like, of course, you go to fight, but for me, it was just to make money and kind of have that celebrity life, and go party after, it's just by myself, and I was kind of just enjoying the moment as it comes, I didn't take fighting as a strategy-wise. Okay, who should I fight next? How do I go up the rankings? It was just kind of the UFC, the public was doing it all for me, And then now, after my loss and the pregnancy, I had to take control of my career and start to figure out what I want, And now I'm just focused on the fight, on the belt, I don't think about, I think about party after the belt, to celebrate, But until then, I just have like the blinders on, and that's the only thing I see.
That's awesome. Talk about this matchup. I mean, when it was announced, it kind of surprised us, right? I think just because we didn't know when she was going to compete again. So when they came to the name, were you surprised, or were you anticipating this at all?
Yeah, for sure I was surprised because I was looking for someone in the top 10, Even before I fought Virna, I was asking for someone, higher ranked than me. So, but it was hard because, the pandemic, the visas and injuries and things like that, it was not a lot of options. And we were looking at the list of top 10, and Nina was someone who was there, but we said, man, like she's at a good ranking, but we don't know if she's going to come back fighting, We didn't really know what to think about Nina, She had a good number next to her, but we said, like, man, I don't know, Claudio Gadelha, Carlos Esparza, who could we fight, And then Mick came back and he said, Nina. I said, what? So I was really, really happy for the opportunity to be like moms, I said, like, okay, this is going to be really good. And then, of course, with her ranking, it's like, okay, this is a good opportunity, and I'm so happy to finally get, someone ranked. I didn't move at all after my last fight, so this is the time that I really want to show, like, with a big difference, 11 to number 5, it's a pretty good jump. So we'll see where I go after this fight. Hopefully I get the win good, and I can really prove myself to be a champ, like, contender.
So in scouting her, what do you expect? Because she hasn't fought in a long time, so it's been a long layoff. And it's funny because you talk about how being a mom like kind of changed you and really kind of put things into focus. Are you kind of expecting her to be different than the last time we saw her, maybe even improved, even though she's been away?
Yeah, I can't underestimate Nina at all. I think that, if there's anyone to come and really improve in all the aspects, it's someone like her. I know for sure Amanda, she just had a camp too. So for sure they have a good support system, and, they live fighting, So no way to not get, evolve in some things. But, I'm kind of like 14 months, I don't know, maybe 14 or 15 months ahead of her in this whole process, Like, it's not, I didn't go through this like 5 years ago, I kind of, my daughter's going to be 2 still, so I'm kind of just a little bit ahead of her, and I kind of know a little bit what she's going through. And really, it's just you're trying to catch up, you're trying to catch up to where you left off at. And yeah, I think it's a good time to fight Nina. I can't, I know she did 100%. She gave her 100% in this camp to the best of her ability, but I don't think she realizes how much of a better fighter she'll be maybe in 10 months from now, in 15 months. And that's where I feel I'm at now, So, yeah, she's dangerous, she's strategic-wise, she's good. She's good all the way to the 3 rounds, She has good takedown defense, but I like that it's a striker versus grappler, like it's a little bit more fish out of the water when it's completely striker versus grappler, But yeah, Nina's you can't mess around. She's number 5 for a reason. So I think it will be exciting to see what her mom experience was compared to my mom experience.
You mentioned Amanda. I know you're not fighting her, but is it intimidating at all to look over and see the GOAT in her corner over there?
I've actually fought a girl that Amanda was in her corner too before, on Invicta. So I'm kind of used to seeing Amanda in the corner, all the time, So definitely, I've always had so much respect for both of them. Before they offered the fight, we follow each other on Instagram and always talk to each other, So definitely see them as almost like friends, So yeah, I don't feel intimidated or anything like that. I think it's really nice, nice to be like 2 moms, and enjoying this process. I know that no matter what, we're gonna have a connection, on whatever happens. Okay, I know what you're feeling, and I know she'll know what I'm feeling to get here, and yeah, I'm excited.
Last thing for me, you said impressive win here would be big, and now you're focused on the belt. So what do you think? I mean, when you map it out, can you be there by the end of this year?
Yeah, I think so, for sure. Like I said, it all depends what happens on this fight. I think this fight's going to be a big determining factor in my career, So hopefully winning, and winning good will really set me up for, what could come next. They have Rose, Carla Esparza, Yan Shannan, and Zhang Weili. They're all fighting in the next 2 weeks, So a lot of things are going to happen in the top 5. I would like to have maybe 1 or 2 more fights. Really, my coaches, they decide, when they think I'm ready. I think jiu-jitsu-wise, I can beat any of them, the champ all the way to the newbies in the UFC. And I think the ground game, I can win, but we want to be champ, and champ is you need to be good in everything and prepared for anything and be able to mix and melt everything together. So I think if I can get my anxiousness on the fights to calm down a little bit, I think a lot of people notice that if I hit a good punch, I kind of go forward, and then the person's recovering, and breathing, and then I lose the good opportunity. So I'm just kind of trying to be more professional the whole way through the fight, instead of okay, some pro, moments, and then bar brawl moments, and then pro moments, and then back to a brawl moments, and be champ material. So I think maybe 1 or 2 more fights, hopefully. My coaches will feel okay. You can fight no matter who will be the champ by then. It could change. It could be Zhang Weili. I still, who knows? But just to be prepared for whoever. I think by the end of the year, it could be if I don't break my nose again or something, I can get some more fights in this year.
Is there any preference who you'd like to fight for the title?
I mean, no preference. I think any of them would be a great fight. I think definitely the 2 Chinese, girls, Zhang Weili and Yan Shannan, they both have a very good record, 20-0 or very, very high records. So I think record-wise, I would like to break their records. You know what I mean? They would be a good fights. But any of them, Joanna, I don't know if she'll still be competing. Rose, I know she has good grappling too, Rose, a lot of flying arm bars and triangles and things like that. Even Carla Esparza, who is the next champ, and if she gets to the champ again, it would be really kind of cool to fight her. So any of the girls, I don't know who will be the champ, but I'm prepared for any of them.
You mentioned adding strength training to your camp. Have you seen the benefits of it, or are you finding it's a bit tough on the body and you think next camp you'll try and rearrange it? How's that been?
No, it's 100% the best thing for me right now. The confidence, my confidence went way high. Of course, jiu-jitsu, being a jiu-jitsu girl, are used to being smaller or maybe weaker, and we fight the absolute division. So I think me coming from jiu-jitsu, the strength training was never like, oh, I'm gonna lose this fight because I'm less weak, because I'm more weak or something like that. But now that I'm starting to take this whole thing like professional, and I see that when you get to the highest level and the technique is so similar, that little things like strength and cardio and having that little extra will make the difference, And I felt that during my camp, my confidence is to the next level, and now I'm like ready for my fight to finish, for my coach to come back to California and stay more 2 months with me, and him to do his masterpiece with me and just change me and make me this, champ that can be a champ for a long time.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Welcome back. You mentioned being a jiu-jitsu girl and then also combined with losing a little bit of muscle. Mackenzie, do you see that as an advantage, that you're able to make weight easier and that the muscle doesn't betray you in the later rounds?
Yeah, like now I'm 120. I'm 120 pounds, and like my last camp, for example, I was 120, but now I'm the same weight but stronger. Like my legs are thicker, my arms are more defined. So I'm not gonna lie, I have traumas. I have a lot of traumas, weight cutting wise. From not making weight, from being stuck in the sauna and everything stopped working. You cramp up your whole body. So for me, it's a little like process I'm going through, and I think that's part of this whole being champ prepared, is trusting the process. And I'm thinking like, man, I'm the same way, but I have more muscle. And they say like, no, the muscle loses more water easier, and it's gonna be easy the same way. So it's scary, you don't want to go through the same experience before, and I definitely will never let that happen again. But I think it's helping. I think it's helping me mentally wise, break any traumas that I have, and just, have that edge when it gets down to it. You see Zhang Weili, she's so fit, her cardio, her body, her physique, it's like really champ material, and that's what we need. Everyone like sees my fights, they say, man, she's so good, but man, her legs she lost a lot of muscle, after the pregnancy and all these things, so now I'm trying to like not let people say anything about anything, my striking, my ground, my physique, everything, we're prepared for everything.
Excellent. And you know what, look, I'll add to that, because we've definitely seen your progress, your evolution, because you look more patient in there. You have clearly gone past the traumas and look happy even in the second and third round, as opposed before you had this type of nervous energy.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's all the mindset, I get so excited, you feel like, I always felt that the strategy of the girls is to take me into the deep waters, into the second, third round, and I start to get a little, not panic like I'm gonna lose, but man, people are going to say, like, I didn't submit in the first round. She's going to start getting confident. You don't want the fighter to get confidence. You want to keep that confidence away. So you could tell that, like, if I went past the first round, I started to get like, oh, man, I need to finish. And then that anxiety that you go through kind of makes you lose good opportunities and things like that. And now I think my last fight was really good to show kind of the rest of the division that if they kind of try to come with this, I think most of the girls will do this strategy, like kind of make points and keep their distance, hit and walk away, hit and walk away. And I think in the end I was able to show, like, yeah, it's okay. It's good to have strategy in fighting, but in the end, if you have like a lot of heart and a lot of dedication, like keep moving forward, and you want to go to the judge's decision, it's going to be risky because the judges see all of that, they see who's going forward, they see who keeps pressing the pace and things like that, and that's something that I think it's really hard to take away from me, So even if they try to go strategic against me like that, I think it won't work, because I just keep going forward, with calm and things like that, and yeah, I think that's that. Especially if you win one round and lose one round, the third they need to come close, And me being a grappler, that's good to get close, because that's a little bit more opportunity for me to take to the ground.
Excellent. And I know it's still a couple of weeks away. It is your division. Do you see a new champion being crowned at the end of the month, or Zhang retains?
And they asked me a lot that question. I think if there's someone to beat her right now, it's Rose, because me, like I said, I'm looking at the belt already, So for me, I'm thinking Zhang Weili, I think, okay, the way to beat her is the ground submission, like to submit her, jump on her back, I don't know, anything, jump on the legs. And I think that Rose has all of that. She has that style where she can do some flying arm bars. She goes for Kimura. She does these things, But I think that Zhang Weili will keep the belt. She just seems like she's at such a good moment in her life, in her career. I don't know either of them personally, so just by social media, I follow both of them, and you can't judge too much by social media, but all I see of Zhang Weili is just training, so it's really hard to think anything else about her than, man, she's just training, and so I think it's hard to take her off right now. But if there's someone style-wise, I think Rose is the one to do it, But I think right now she's just at a really good moment in her career, and I think that Jean will keep the belt one more time.
All right. Thank you for everything. Best of luck on Saturday. Obrigado.
Thank you.